I was born and raised in Pinetown, and specifically in Clearwater, and this is Clearwater Community Library. It's the library that we grew up using, up to date. I was born and raised here. I've just graduated with my master's degree in agricultural science with focus in horticultural science at UKZN. My love for agriculture started when we were young because my grandma used to have a garden at the back of the yard, so she used to be very, very radical in teaching us how to produce vegetables. So that's where I learned, and that's where I developed a love for agriculture and growing crops. I went to watch the movie called The Fugitive by Harrison Ford. At that time, I was so keen about healing people and knowing about the anatomy of the people. I used to ask myself, how do they do it? I mean, to me, doctors were superstars. And so the love for medicine grew. The love of agriculture started when I was around 7. So that was my first introduction to agriculture, more than medicine. But I was so keen because in matric, I still wanted to enroll for medicine. But other circumstances hindered me from doing so. But there was always a backup. Agriculture was always there. So I enrolled for Bachelor of Agriculture and Science, which was at University of South Africa. That's where my career started. Up to now, that's where I've decided to enroll for master's degree, and now I've completed it with the help of Maize Trust for funding my project. The bursary had made a big difference. It's a significant difference, so to say, because I wouldn't have this master's that I have now. In order for you to be considered for an application at the university, you first need to secure funding. So for me, Maize Trust was my savior. They funded my project, and they replied me around November because my application was around September. So I would say they were quick, and they were convenient, and they were also reliable in getting back to us. And from that point onward, they kept the communication constant in all forms until we finished our studying. I see myself to have developed more potential of becoming a young scientist, and I see myself to have come up with other ideas that will improve food security, because all we do in research is to improve crops so that they can survive and they can be produced in maybe unfavorable conditions like droughts that are stressing plants, but we must come up with ideas to still produce food. I'm an aspiring scientist, and I'm very keen in exploring so many scientific researches around food and to understand how plant ticks around different conditions. South Africa's GDP, about more than 70% of it is generated through agriculture, be it animal science, plant science, soil science, and even minerals and mining. It all falls under agriculture and forestry. So that on its own tells you that this country's profit, this country's economy, about 80% of it is generated from agricultural science. That is the first hint they must think about. Secondly, food security. People are increasing, the population is increasing. Whenever people are increasing in number, what is the first option they opt for? It's the stomach. They need something to eat. So always the agriculture will be the number one in all the careers. My gratitude, it's just especially for Maize Trust. They did not only just fund us and then they said, that's it. They were concerned about us, like our livelihoods, how we were doing. They even asked if we had problems, we must communicate with them, not just about bursary, but they made us feel like we were the members of Maize Trust. So it's not just a trust, but it's just a family-oriented kind of trust which welcomes everyone, and they make you feel at home, they make you feel welcome. So for me, they are the best. Thank you, Maize Trust, so much for the funding and for the great hospitality that you have offered us as students. I appreciate it.